Alright guys, welcome back. Here we are taking a look at issue 6 of SBG magazine, To the King. Let's dive in. Obviously the cover speaks for itself. Absolutely stunning. The photography in the entire publication is hands down some of the finest miniature photographing I've seen. Particularly out of something that, as a reminder, this is a fan-produced magazine, guys. This is not a... I don't want to say it's not professional, because in my mind this is almost as professional as it gets. These guys have done a fantastic job, but these are just a team of guys and people that love this hobby, and they put out this magazine. So let's dive into the contents. So obviously the layout, this is not your everyday fanzine. This isn't just a little online publication. I mean, they've done their homework here and have laid this thing out beautifully. It's fantastic. The attention to detail is amazing. So obviously they've got listing out the credits. So created and edited by Tom Harrison and Damien O'Brien. I'm not sure which one that is. I think it's O'Byrne. Layout design, Damien. Copy editor, Tom. Principal photography, so that's the fellow that's taking these beautiful pictures. That is Mr. Jim Muller. Terrific job there. They've got a list of contributors there: Will Champion, Callum Edens, Dave Fredericks, Kev Lawrence, and Lily Muller. You know, it's absolutely fantastic stuff. Excellent. All images reproduced with the kind permission of the photographers, and that would be Will Champion, Matt Davies, Dave Fredericks, Kev Lawrence, Jim Muller, Lily Muller, and David Reed. Give you some contact information, a little editorial by Damien and Tom. It's great. It's really good stuff. Really well laid out. Gives you the full contents, page number. You can flip right through. Very professionally done. It's just laid out very well. So getting started here, basically what's going on at SBG Towers. Sort of a behind-the-scenes look, which is pretty sweet. It's a fun little piece to read. Very fun to see sort of an inside look, and it adds a little bit of humor. Jumping over to Of Dice and Men Part 2. Basically, this is a fantastic article written by Tom, outlining basically a very standard premise within the wargaming community, that essentially you live and die by luck, but in this game you have a number of things that you can do to mitigate and improve your chances of winning duels and dice rolls and stuff. So it's kind of like a luck / tactics thing. Very fun to read, very well done. You know, as per the norm with these fellas, lots of informative information to basically help you become a better player. In my opinion, you know, so it's going to break down right down to like the chances. They give you examples of how they're figuring out the math. It's very well done, very well done. Leave it to the Brits to be able to lay something like that out, you know, the way that they do. So stunning. Tom's top tips. Like, there's just a number of things. I don't want to go through everything because I want you guys to get this magazine. It's amazing. You know, there's so much packed into it that you can definitely use. This is the Doctor's Corner. This one here, Dr. Grant, Damien, it's terrific. Well done. Absolutely fantastic. Basically, it is the impact that Middle-earth / Tolkien, you know, the world that we all love, has had on Damien, and it's all something that I think we can relate to. So many of us are not only just into this hobby simply because of, you know, what we love as far as the game goes. It's also the world, the story, the lore, everything about it is just is so enjoyable, and it's so deep. There's so many different facets and things. So it's a great time to be in this hobby because there's so many ways that we can now bring it to life. There's so many ways that we can bring Middle-earth to life, be it through the movies, the upcoming TV show, tabletop games, computer games, video games, you name it, we've got it now. It's amazing and tangible, and something that I think is really going to be important to relay the world of Tolkien and Middle-earth to the next generation. You know, we can't bury our heads in the sand and expect them all to pick up, you know, a book and read it, although I certainly hope that they do. We have to make it accessible to everyone. And, you know, if that means that, you know, obviously there's differing opinions on the movies and such, if they do watch the movies and then it drives them to read the books, that's a positive in my mind. So a little bit about Damien's experience and how it has affected him going forward. So it's a good read. This one in particular, awesome. World champion, excellent job. This is a Tactica, beautifully laid out, well done, well thought out. Gives you sort of a this is as close to a how-to guide as you can get for playing the Iron Hills very well at a competitive level. You know, world champion obviously is a well-known name in the GBHL, knows a thing or two, and puts it into words very well. It's extremely useful for those of you who play Iron Hills. Also useful for those of you who are going to play against Iron Hills. So it's a great article, and that one there is a total of 4 pages of Iron Hills goodness. So once again, the photography, I think some of these were World Champions photographs, not entirely positive, but beautiful nonetheless. Everything stunningly laid out with lots of art. It's terrific. Now we get into the meat and potatoes. This is over 450 models, bat rep to the king, obviously reenacting that iconic charge coming out of the gates of Erebor, and it is fantastic. So it's an excellent read. I don't want to spoil it. I'm going to flip through it because I don't want to spoil it for those of you who are going to get it. It's an excellent read, filled with all kinds of terrific photographs. I mean, the layout of this army in particular is absolutely stunning, And I know that I've said this before, but these bat reps really do harken me back to the days of old at GW with the old White Dwarf, the old bat reps that they used to have. They were just so well done. You know, it just reminds me of that. It gives me that sense of nostalgia from when I was a child reading White Dwarf. This publication brings that back for me, and it's set in my favorite genre, being Middle Earth. So I'm going to flip through this. Obviously, I had to make it here. I'm going to do a little bit of zooming in on this. Mind the camera, gents and ladies. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Stunning photograph. Hugely impressive. Would have loved to have taken part in this game because that would have been an absolute blast, to be sure. It looks like all the goodies are there, and what an amazing battle that would have been, to be sure. So I'm gonna flip through. I don't want to spoil it. But you can see. Look at the content. Look at the size of it. It's huge. Now we come to again one of my more favorite parts. Anytime you see anything from Kev Lawrence, the guy is a master of what he does. His craft, he's incredible. In this one, it's How to Win a Golden Demon. So this one is well worth the read for those of you who are really deep into that side of the hobby, be it your painting, terrain building. This guy can sort of take you through and show you everything. It's awesome. I believe he's a multiple Golden Demon winner. He knows what he's talking about. Solid article. Really well done. Gives you some amazing shots of the detail work that went into these particular pieces. You know, in this case, this one here being the orcs and elves coming over the wall of Iron Hills, which was amazing. You know, looks absolutely stunning. Some pieces down here of Alfred and Bilbo. Just looks terrific. So really enjoyed that, and that's actually these pieces here in the bottom of this main piece. I'll see if I can zoom in and get a decent shot of that for you. I'm not sure how well that's going to translate on camera, but either way, it is a stunning piece, and this article is well worth the read. So check that out. Moving on then, we have a painting master class by none other than Mr. Lawrence again, which is amazing. Really been enjoying the painting master class. It's excellent for any level of painter, really, because they take you through step by step, show you how to build those layers up and get that effect. And I know that I've learned an immense amount from just the painting master classes that I've read in the past. This one is no different, and especially important for me is, as I've said before, I got to paint this guy, so I will be referencing this to be sure. So it takes you through, shows you how to do the cloak, the face, the armor, everything top to bottom, and it looks absolutely stunning. Beautiful stuff from Shadow and Flame. Beautiful stuff. Dave Fredericks, not to be left out, he is the sculpting genius from Shadow and Flame. So going through here lets you sculpt some Heirs of Durin for some customizable feelies and keelies to go with Mr. Oakenshield, of course, and it's, again, another one shows you how to do chainmail, a really simple process that I was actually very impressed with. Definitely worth the investment just for these little gems themselves. And then you have the standard hobby blog and how to support SBG magazine. So that's what I want to end this on. If you're not supporting these guys, you need to. This is some of the most pinnacle stuff that is done within our hobby right now. It's amazing. The publication is fantastic. I know at the OHA we want to do whatever we can to help support these guys, because this is something that is born out of love, and it shows in this publication. It's clear that there's a passion involved in this, and it relays right onto the pages. Every time you're flipping that page, you know how much work, heart, and soul has gone into it, and it is fantastic. So if you want to support these guys, send them an email at sbgmagazine@gmail.com. They can relay information on what copies are available. I think you can get all the back copies. Send them an email, see if you can support them, get yourself a copy. Well worth the investment. I certainly hope you've enjoyed a sneak peek at this, and once again, thanks to the guys at SBG Towers for sending it over to us, and really loved reading through this. It has been at my night table since I got it, and I have been reading it every night since. It's been fantastic. So thank you guys very much. Thanks for joining us at the OHA, and stay tuned for another product review coming up.